Welcome to part 3 in my series on how to generate AI alt text for the images in your Drupal media library using AI. My name is Wayne Aker. I'm a Drupal developer at Zengenuity, and I also teach Drupal training classes at DrupalTutor.com. Now, as a recap, in part 1 of this series, we built a user interface using views to display our media images and their alt text, as well as adding filters so that we could find images that had empty alt text, images that need attention. We also set up views bulk operations so that we could act on these items. In part 2 of the series, we use the ECA module, Event Condition Action, to create 2 custom VBO actions, one to trigger the alt text generation and to flag images for review, and another to mark your images as reviewed once you have reviewed them. So if you haven't watched those 2 parts yet, I recommend going back and watching them first so that this part makes sense. Now, in part 3, we are finally going to make this work. So we will replace the placeholder action that we used in part 2 with actual AI integration. So to get started with that, we will need to configure the connection to an AI service. And specifically, we will use OpenAI in this demo. And then we will update our ECA action to call that service to generate the alt text and save it back to the image media. Now, to do this, we will need a few specific Drupal modules related to AI. First, we will need the core AI module. This is a fundamental module that provides the framework for connecting Drupal to AI services. We'll also need the key module. This module is used to securely store API keys, such as our OpenAI key for accessing their API. Next, we will need the AI image alt text. This module specifically provides the functionality and some ECA actions to generate the alt text for images. And next, we will need some AI provider module. So you need a module for whatever specific service that you want to use. I will be using OpenAI in this video. So we'll use the OpenAI ChatGPT integration module that you see here. Now, if you wanted to use a different service like Google Gemini or Anthropic Claude, you would need their respective provider modules, assuming that those modules and the services have support for image analysis. So all of these modules, AI core, key, AI image, alt text, and OpenAI, they all come pre-installed with the Drupal CMS distribution that I am using in this demo. Now, if you are on a standard Drupal site, you may need to install those with Composer. Now, one issue right now with the AI alt text module is it's broken for bulk generating alt text on media entities. I will link to the issue for this in the notes with this video. There is currently a patch available, but we will need to apply this patch to the module in order for this to work. So let's do that now. I will just copy all of the text here, and I'll go to my project folder, and I'll create a new patches folder, and I'll create a new file in there called alt text.patch. It's not particularly a good name, but we'll call it that. And then I'll paste in the patch from the issue. And now I need to install the plugin that allows Composer to apply patches. And that is the C. Wiegand's Composer patches. So we can do that by doing Composer require C, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but C. Wiegand's Composer patches. And yes, I will trust it. And then once that's there, I need to come to Composer JSON in my project, and under extra, I need to add a patches section. And then, next it should be Drupal, and this module, I have to get the module name exactly correct from the machine name. It's Drupal/AI image alt text. This is what we're going to apply the patch to. And the patch is fix media bulk update. I usually like to put, just a little tip, I usually like to put the node ID in here, or maybe the URL, depending on how long it is. But that way I can go back and look at this issue later to see if it's still a problem. And then this patch is at patches AI image alt text dot patch. Or sorry, it's AI alt text dot patch. Okay. I think that should be good. Let's go back to the terminal and run composer update Drupal AI image alt text, and that should apply the patch, which we see right here, and seems to have done so successfully. Okay, so now we've got everything we need. So let's install that module. So we'll go to extend. Let's open this in a new tab. Okay, and we need AI image alt text and AI image bulk alt text. And this is going to tell us that we also need AI core key module, and in order to install that, we're also going to need to install the OpenAI module. So as soon as this completes, I will do that as well. And again, this OpenAI provider module comes with Drupal CMS. That's why I didn't have to download it, but you could just download it with Composer if you need to. Okay, so now we have everything installed. The next step is that we need to configure our API key. So if we go, and we'll use the key module for this. The OpenAI provider module is integrated with the key module. So let's go to configuration and then go to under system, go to keys, and let's add a key. This key name will be OpenAI API key, and it's a type authentication. And for the provider, let's select file. And this is a more secure method. It means the actual key will be stored in a file on the server, hopefully outside of the web root. And it won't be stored in the database or anything and so therefore it's less likely to be accidentally exposed. And so then we have to give it the file location where we will store that. I have on my development environment here, I have already stored my OpenAI key in a text file at user data dev data openai.key. And again, that is outside of the web root, so it wouldn't be accessible. And I'll just strip trailing line breaks. I don't know if it has any line breaks in it, but we'll do that just to be sure. Okay, so the file, that file, I'm not going to open it up because it has my live key in it, but it just has the API key in there and nothing else. Okay, so we click save on that. And now let's configure AI provider settings. Let's go to OpenAI authentication, and we can select the key and click save. All right, and so now we're all set up with OpenAI. Next, we need to configure the AI alt text module. So we do this, and this is where we can define the prompt that's used to generate the alt text. So if we go to configuration, AI alt text settings. Okay, the first thing here is the prompt. this is the instruction that's given to the AI. The default prompt is pretty good. It asks for a concise description, suitable for all text. It mentions the target length around 100 characters by default, and it asks it to focus on key objects and actions. But you can definitely customize this. For instance, in the project that this was based on, we increased the alt text length slightly to 150 characters because we found it gave more descriptive results. We also added a few extra directives to prevent some common issues that we saw during testing, like misidentifying logos, like saying something was the Nike logo when it was a different logo. And so feel free to experiment with this prompt to get the best results for your specific content. But otherwise, I'm going to set this to 150 characters, but otherwise I'm going to leave the default. So scrolling down, the AI provider module. And so this is set to use the default image vision model. So we can find that if we go under AI, let's go under the AI default settings. I'll just open that in a new tab. I think it's already set correctly, but I'll just show you what it is. So if we go down here, let's look for image, chat with image vision. You can see it's set to OpenAI, and currently it's set to GPT 4o, which is fine for this. So we'll just leave it as the default image vision model. And then the other setting here is the image style. And this is very important. So the image, you need to send the image data to the AI, and you don't want to send some giant, full, high resolution original image because that's going to be slow. It's also going to be very costly in terms of API tokens. And so the AI image alt text module comes with a predefined image style that will resize your images down specifically for the purpose of sending them to AI. And so it resizes them down to a pretty small size, like I think maybe 200 or 250 pixels. And it's small, but it's still an efficient dimension that the AI can analyze. It's effective at analyzing what's in the image, and while also minimizing the amount of tokens that you're going to end up using. So make sure that you have this image style selected. It should be selected by default. And then click save. Okay. And so now, and so at this point, actually, if we were to upload new media entities, we do have you'll have the option, and I won't go through it now, but you'll see there's like this generate with AI button that goes next to the alt text. And so this would be effective now if you were uploading new images. You could generate the alt text with AI just by clicking that button, or there was an option there under the settings to have that happen automatically if you wanted to, but that only applies to new items new images that you're uploading. So we need to complete that process to on the ones that are already uploaded to sort of backfill in their alt text. All right, but this is set. So now what we need to do is go into our ECA module, our ECA model, and configure the action. So here is the action we created in part 2 to generate the AI alt text. At the time, we set the template here for the second thing to just display a message to the user. And now we are ready to go in and make this work. So let's remove the template or unlink the template that is here. And now let's select a new template. And the template will be generate AI alt text. Let's just try clearing our caches, because I think we have everything enabled. Let's try this again. Let's refresh this page. After clearing caches, we'll unlink that. Yeah, there he is. Okay, generate AI alt text. So if you don't see it, maybe try clearing caches. It looks like there's some oddity when you install. So we'll select the template for generating AI alt text. And next we need to configure this template. So it wants the entity. So we have that entity token, which we used before. So I'll copy that and paste it in here, and replace tokens should be yes. And I think that should be it. Let's click save. Okay, so now let's test the full workflow. This is the moment of truth. Let's go back to our alt text fixer. And those actions are already configured here. So let's start with just selecting one. And then from the drop-down actions, let's generate AI alt text and mark for review. Click apply and confirm. And this time it's going to take a few seconds because it's actually communicating with OpenAI. And once the batch finishes, let's check the result. And so here we go. The AI alt text for the image, in this case, the logo, it's populated and generated all by AI. We also see that, and actually it looks pretty good, right? It's actually read the logo. And so it says what it is. It tells me all the text that's in the logo. So I think this is a fine alt text. And notice that the unreviewed AI alt text flag has been set to yes. And so now let's try the rest of them all together in bulk. So I'll just check all of them. We don't need to do this one again, so I'll uncheck it. And then I'll choose generate AI alt text and mark for review, apply, execute. And now this process is going to take a bit of time. So I will speed up the video so you don't have to sit here and watch this progress bar go along. Okay, and now it's finished, and there we have it. So all of these images now have alt text generated by AI, and they have all been flagged as needing review. So if we scroll through these, I mean, actually, these look generally pretty good. Probably should have made some slightly bigger images here so that we could see them. Actually, maybe, hold on. Yeah, the images actually are bigger. They got kind of compressed because they're squeezing down in the table here. But you could open them up if you need to compare them. But actually, I think all of these look pretty good. If one of them was a problem, you could click edit and fix it manually. But you can see you can easily sort of scan through all of these at once and see that they're good. So let's just say, yeah, all of these look fine. And so now we could flag these as alt text has been reviewed and click apply. And we can see now that that cleared the unreviewed alt text flag. And so, yeah, so these are done. All right, so that's it. Now, over the course of these 3 videos, we've built a complete no-code solution within Drupal to identify images that are missing alt text and to leverage AI to automatically generate descriptive alt text for those images. We've provided an efficient interface for reviewing and approving the generated alt text, and we were able to perform all these actions in bulk without having to go through each item one at a time. And so this is a really powerful example of how modern AI tools can be integrated into Drupal using modules like ECA and the AI modules and views bulk operation without needing any custom code. Drupal has all of these tools that you can sort of put together to optimize your workflows, to make your work easier, either with code or in this case, without writing any code. So I hope you found this series of videos useful. Again, my name is Wayne Aker. If you need help building custom workflow solutions in Drupal, you can find me at Zengenuity.com. Or if you're interested in getting more Drupal training from me, you can check out my courses at DrupalTutor.com. Please let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching this series.